Hey everyone, it's Claire, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 unexpectedly cool things about an INFP that you should know about. So whether you are an INFP or if you are someone who would like to be in a relationship with an INFP, these are 10 things that will help to get you to know and understand INFP better so that you can relate to them or just appreciate yourself more. So number 1. INFPs tend to feel a lot, even if they look calm on the outside. So this is the case for myself, definitely, and a lot of other INFPs, I'm sure you can relate. We feel things so deeply, and we are very sensitive. We are very in touch with our emotions. However, on the outside, a lot of times it can look like to an outside observer that we are just calm, cool, maybe even aloof or unaware. And this is something that is very interesting about INFP. And if you are an INFP, it is something that you can even work on so that you can connect more with others, so that they know that you really are aware, you really are feeling a lot, you just don't show it as much. So sometimes being more vulnerable and opening up to show how you are feeling can help others connect with us better. And if you are someone who is looking to be in a relationship with INFP, it's good to know this because you want to be able to know that your INFP could be going through a lot of emotions and having a lot of different internal reactions that you could ask them about and just try to get them to open up in a calm and understanding and patient way to make them feel comfortable expressing themselves. Number 2, INFPs often express themselves through their creative outlets, perhaps more than conversation. So you may know some of the great poets and authors and even movie directors, artists. There's so many different famous INFPs who are so creative and they just pour out their self-expression into their creative works. I myself am similar to this. If you can relate, feel free to comment below. For an INFP, self-expression and being able to express yourself in those ways that come naturally to you, that you feel passionate about, that you just feel that drive and you just feel that natural compulsion to express yourself through certain mediums or in certain different ways, through different creative outlets. We have so much depth and so much that we want to talk about and express, but sometimes the best ways that we do that is not actually by just talking. I know for myself, as an introverted INFP, I often would clam up in conversations or be unable to express myself when I'm in conversation face to face with someone, and it would just not feel comfortable. And yet I could express things that were so important to me in such deep ways through my writing or my art or different expressions such as poetry that people can really read or look at and they feel something. So I want you to know that you're not alone in this. If you are an INFP and maybe you have trouble communicating, but you also have that deep desire to express yourself, you can work on being vulnerable, you can work on being able to feel safe communicating, but you can also express yourself through the ways that you feel comfortable now. The third very unexpected and interesting thing about INFPs is that INFPs are both playful and childlike and also extremely wise and mature, and they have an old soul. So you have like a childish side and you have an old soul wise side. For me, it's kind of been this interesting thing for me to finally accept and understand this about myself, because it's just part of who I am. Yes, I can be playful, I can be silly, I can be extremely excited and childlike at some times, but that is not who I am entirely. I can also be extremely thoughtful and self-aware and full of depth and wanting to understand things and wanting to understand complexities of life and have deep conversations, but that is also not who I am entirely. I am both, and INFPs often are both of these things where if you're someone who wants to be in a relationship with an INFP, it's really great because you have so many different aspects to this personality type of, carefree, fun-loving, easygoing, free-spirited, and childlike, but also wise and patient and thoughtful. And so as you get to know yourself or another INFP, you will be able to come to see this and appreciate this and see that as being so cool because you are multifaceted and you just have a very interesting personality. Number 4. INFPs are introverts, but they can be very extroverted and talkative when they feel comfortable. So I have noticed this in myself and in other INFPs that I know, where INFPs may seem very introverted. They may not open up at all or feel comfortable expressing themselves or being in social situations. But if they are just feeling really at home and at ease and comfortable around someone or comfortable in a situation, they can be the most extroverted and excited and life of the party that you would never even expect was an INFP. So for myself, for example, I love to dance. And a lot of times when I am in other types of social situations, I can clam up. I feel like I don't know what to say. I don't know how to talk to people or interact. And I kind of just go into my introvert and I'm like, I want to go home. However, if I am in a situation where people are dancing and there's music, I just feel so safe and comfortable. That's me personally, but I just go all out. I love dancing. I will smile. I will be so extroverted and so willing to just be in the moment and be fully present. And that is energizing for me. So if you can relate, you probably understand this. Or if you have other ways that you become extroverted at times, you will definitely understand this as well. Number 5, INFPs may seem like they don't care very much, but in fact, they care very deeply. This kind of goes along with the first point above, where you might not see how they're feeling or they might not show it, but actually they care very deeply. So if you are someone who is friends with an INFP, you might not think that they care, or you might even be intimidated by them because they aren't showing you very much emotion or showing you very much, but deep down they are very sensitive and they do care and they do want you to like them. I know with me, a lot of times I can be in my own bubble for months on end. I don't want to interact with anyone, or maybe I distance myself from people for a long time, but that's just how I recharge. And sometimes I also don't show how excited I am, or maybe people just don't understand that I truly am excited to be around or excited to be in a certain situation because of my introverted nature and the fact that I'm feeling everything inside rather than expressing it outwardly. And so I've learned in a lot of ways that I have to be more vulnerable and I have to openly express myself so that people actually know what I'm thinking and that they don't think that I am just kind of standing there judging or being unapproachable. Number 6, INFPs crave authenticity and connection. They want the depth of connection. They want that soul understanding, the soul connections. They want to be able to express themselves deeply. It's a deep desire for the INFP to feel like they can fully and deeply express themselves to someone else, to feel that connection, to be able to have those in-depth conversations. It just feels like you're finally understood, you're finally seen, you're finally heard when you have someone who can relate, who can understand, who can have those conversations with you, and who also appreciates seeing the world in the same way that you do. So having another intuitive, for example, another person who feels deeply, another empath, those are all things that really make the INFP extremely happy and fulfilled to be able to express themselves deeply, have deep connections, and be able to be themselves truly. So small talk most likely isn't going to fulfill the INFP, and it's going to leave them wanting more, wanting something deeper. So if you want to connect to an INFP, you're going to want to be vulnerable, be authentic, talk about your feelings, talk about things that make you passionate and excited. And I know for myself, that has been something that I have found to be very refreshing, is to find people that I don't have to have small talk with, where we can just jump right into getting to know each other deeply and talking about the topics that I find interesting, and we can just go on and on about it. Number 7, INFPs may seem carefree, easygoing, laid back, even passive at times. However, the INFP can become extremely stubborn and very passionate when it is something that they value, things that they care about, or if something feels unjust to them. So you may not understand this until you see this in action. If you do something that they truly do not like, you will see a different side of them. You will see their passion come out. Now, this doesn't have to only be if you do something that they find unjust. If they feel their passions and their purpose being fueled or inspired in them, you can see them shift and they will just be so passionate, so driven. You'll see them come to life in a different way. They have a lot of passion and a lot of feeling that when they are directed in a way that they feel is aligned with their values, or if they are fighting for something that they care about, they will become powerful and passionate. Number 8, INFPs are often very romantic. They are romantics at heart. They often idealize love. They idealize romance. They idealize relationships, and they idealize life. So INFPs tend to see what life could be like, how people could be, how people could get along, how relationships could be. So they're striving for these ideals and these dreams that they are coming up with in their heads. They want their dreams to be fulfilled and their visions to come into reality. And this is very wonderful because it's a great way for an INFP to be able to express, create, and give the way that they see the world out to other people. So you can actually inspire through the way that you think the world could become better, or how you see that relationships could go better. There's all sorts of things where even though we may not ever reach the 100% ideal, we could still be working towards making things better in the world and between each other. Number 9, the next unexpected and interesting thing about an INFP is that you may not ever 100% fully know them. And this is especially in new relationships where you may just be getting to know the INFP and they haven't built full trust to fully open up to you. And even after a long time of knowing them, you still may not know everything that there is to know about the INFP, the way that they're feeling, the things that they're thinking about, their intense passions and desires to express themselves in so many different ways, constantly thinking of new ideas, new creative ways of seeing life. And so they can be very, very interesting to get to know, and there's always something new that you will continue to get to know. So it's never going to be boring as long as you are open-minded, as long as they are open-minded, and you guys are just comfortable to continue learning and growing. And number 10, the last interesting thing about the INFP is that they can be extremely loyal friends, and they can be some of the best friends that you ever have. They will stick by your side if you can gain their trust, and if you guys can fully match up and feel that you guys are meant to be together or meant to be in each other's lives, you will have someone who truly cares about you. So INFPs, as you know, they are very feeling types, and they also want those genuine, deep connections, and they also idealize relationships in a lot of times. So they want that loyalty, they want that deep connection. They want to be able to express themselves and also allow the other person to express themselves. They want that beautiful relationship to develop, really put their heart and soul into their relationships. So it is definitely worth getting to know an INFP. They are very wonderful, very interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe if you're new, and feel free to comment if you guys have any additional things that you would like to add about INFPs. I will see you guys in my next video, and remember, as always, you are so powerful. Bye, guys!